Welcome once again to the Music of Stillwater Show. Tonight in Stillwater, we're lucky enough to have on the show with us a guy who took off from Stillwater a few years ago and disappeared up into the Great White North and Alaska territories for a while, and I understand now he's settling down in Seattle areas. And his name is Chuck Dunlap, and Chuck made an album here in Stillwater back in 1979 called Days Gone By. And it was kind of an unusual album. I think Stillwater since then has produced its share of albums, but at this time I think there was something different about your album, Chuck, and the reason people still listen to it, I think they consider it a classic from Stillwater music scene at that time, is that this was done just on a 4-track recorder. Is that right? Where was this done at, and how was it done, and who was on it, and so on?
This was done at Lamb Recording. It was done in 1979, and I think we finished it up in 1980. Yeah, we worked on it for about 9 months out of the year. Mike Hufford was the engineer, and there was nobody else involved with producing it but Mike and myself. I started calling people once I got my tracks down for the songs that I wanted to use. Put the vocals and guitars down first, and then we just kind of started calling people that I wanted to play on it. People that I had met through the years and become friends with or picked with. One guy came from as far away as Nashville. His name was Kevin Welch. He played around with a group called the Blue Rose Cafe and the New Rodeo and Welch and Long. And a lot of hometown pickers. Mark Lyon, one of them, a guitar player. Rhett Franzman played banjo on it. Matt Samples, who's a good traveling buddy of mine. Don Mitchell played some bass, and Rod Boutwell. And I did all the vocal work myself except for one song that there was other vocals on. All the guitar work, the acoustic guitar, was done by myself, except for some of the lead work was put on by other people. And it was just almost a family effort. It was so close to home with the people that were on it that everybody knew where I was coming from when I wrote the song and had some special reason that song hit them and that they liked it. And so it was already kind of in their hearts and heads to come and play and had in mind what they wanted to put down. And I think that's one of the reasons that it turned out so good, was because people were so familiar with the songs I was putting on it.
Mm-hmm. That was done back in 1979 that album was done in at Lamb Recording Studios. Tonight we're taping this interview in Studio 131, another recording studio in operation here in Stillwater, run by Charlie and Aletha Hollis. And many thanks to them for catching Dunlap here in town so we could get him in front of a mic and do this recording. And before he gets out of town again. He flits in, he flits out. Incidentally, that leads me to where I wanted to ask you, since you've moved to Alaska some years ago and so on, how has your music changed from, tonight we're listening to cuts off of your 79 album, Days Gone By, but do you think your music has changed in that amount of time, and you've written a lot more, and what's been up musically with you since then?
I think it's progressed just as much in the last 2 years as it did in the 4 or 5 years that I was here in Oklahoma before that. It's traveling has progressed it a lot. Getting away from my roots has progressed it a lot. It's more, I'm writing a little more upbeat now. I kind of seem to be over my serious stage of really getting down and depressing. It's because I'm not down and depressed anymore.
A lot of good movies. I mean, good music comes out of depression. If that was depression I'm listening to on the first album.
That's because when you're happy, you don't need to stop and think about your life and stop and reason and get philosophical about what's going on. You just, because you're too happy and you're just living and having a good time. And when you're upset over something or down about something, then you're sitting around thinking about what's going on very seriously. And that's a hard habit to break, of only writing when you're down and depressed. And but it's a nice, refreshing change. It's nice to write a song and have a smile on your face and go, yeah, I'm glad I got that out.
singing in the sunshine, I'm running in the rain. You know I feel so good 'cause I'm happy again. You know I got no reason to sit down and cry because I got my love, and you know that I've got my love, and you know that I've got my love, and you know I know why. Well, you got to have a reason for believing sometimes, like the changing of a season, like a word turned to rhyme. You're always on the go, you know you haven't the time, but things are always looking better when you look down the line. No, 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 no. But you tell me I'm mistaken. Well, just look out your door, and I see your drunken sailors all upon my secret shoreline. And I ask them not to leave me, but they all float away. So I'm leaving here, and I'll give you all my fears, for I don't need them to haunt me on my way to the sun. For there's cheaters and mistreaters with their fingers in your pockets, and there's sweetly smiling ladies with their knives in your soul. Well, that city life, it's alright with some folks. It's turning their heads all around. With your concrete forest and your asphalt jungle, you never hear nothing but sound. Ain't it nice to hear the rainfall beating hard against the panes of glass, to shelter little children from the thunder and the rain? Don't your feet begin to wander, taking steps that when I noticed there's a crowd of screaming people seem to turn you away. When the past is all forgotten and the people finish talking, when the trees have shed their fiery coats to shiver in the cold, well, I never saw the meaning in the practice of redeeming things, things that really have no feeling for your life or your soul. So I'm leaving here, and I'll give you all my fears, for I don't need them to haunt me on my way to the sun. For there's cheaters and mistreaters with their fingers in your pockets, and there's sweetly smiling ladies with their knives in your soul.
On On that album that we're listening to tonight, you chronicle a lot of things that I think had to do with Oklahoma and things that happened around areas of that in your life at that time. What about what you've been writing recently? Is it about Alaska? Does it involve Alaska and areas like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of songs about Alaska and the area up there and my feelings about the place. There's a couple of songs about the friends I've met along the way and the ones I left behind. The majority of the songs are about my wife. She's my biggest inspiration because my life seems to revolve around what we've got together, and everything kind of comes out of that. So I think it's only natural that most of the songs would have to do, if not directly, then indirectly, with my life with her.
Okay, you've been spending some time around Anchorage playing, I understand, and doing some work along those lines. What exactly did that involve? Playing some clubs in Anchorage, and now I understand you're playing some clubs down in Seattle, probably, or going to be working in those areas.
Yeah, when I first went to Anchorage, it took me about 3 months to really get off the ground. Most of the places booked so far in advance. I played, mainly it was restaurant bars, and most of the places that have liquor have food too up there, so it's you're playing to the crowd that comes to have a drink before they eat, or to just have a drink and have some hors d'oeuvres and kind of eat light. So it's a real different crowd. You're not playing to the beer bars, to the people that are just coming to drink. Most of those places have bands and are a little more high energy. I did a solo act the whole time I was in Anchorage, and got into the state fair up there, and I've been back up there every year since then. If I go back this year, this will be my 4th year that I've gone up there and played the state fair, and it's a real good thing. I get back up there and keep in touch with the people I know up there, and play to the people that I've kind of developed relationships with up there musically, and I really enjoy going back to Alaska. It'll always have a piece of me too, because it's got its own certain atmosphere and its own certain way of life, and it's a really unique place. Unlike Seattle is a real high energy. It's a big city. It's probably around 2 million people, and
have you played any around the Pioneer Square area?
Yeah, that's the Pioneer Square. For those of you who don't know, is like the Strip of Seattle. It's
only larger.
much larger. It's a real old section of town. As a matter of fact, the old Seattle lies under where Pioneer Square is now, and you can still take underground tours. They've built the new city right on top of the old city, and it's there's a lot of street musicians down there. There's probably 12 bars that have music in every block along the street, and it's a real different type of place to play. When I first went there, I played a couple of solo gigs down there, and then did a duo with the bass player down there for a while, and then I got in a band for about 9 months. Was having a real hard time getting booked solo, so the bass player I was playing with, we found a keyboard player that played sax and harmonica, and then we found a drummer and another guitar player that we liked, and the guitar player ended up leaving, and we went through some transitions and ended up with a nice little 4-piece, and we played for about a year, and ended up did our last gig on Mount Rainier at a ski resort, and then I went to Alaska for 9 weeks and got back solo. I really miss the personal contact you have when you're doing solo. It was really a commercial type gig with the band, and we were doing a lot of top 40 and material that I not necessarily didn't like, but
copy tunes, and
I felt like I couldn't really put my heart into what I was doing, and that's what my act is reaching. When you can reach out and touch people with your music, and it's real hard to do that playing in a band, playing copy music.
Sometimes I wonder how I got to this day. Well, I see my lifetime in a peculiar way. I seem to be dreaming. Days gone by, oh how long since that well has run dry. It was a wild time, boy, we laid it on the line, taking the time to be free. Oh boy, we had some good times, and we drank that sweet wine, and we all called it predestiny. I did some traveling up Cumberland way. Well, I played my music, Lord, and I watched it play. But it was so cold there, they just seemed to say, Sonny, you just could not make it this way. It was a wild time, boy, they laid it on the line, taking the time to be free. Oh boy, we had some good times, and we drank that sweet wine, and we all called it predestiny. I feel it playing in those bars. And sometimes I feel high when I'm playing with the stars. I stand on their stage and I watch the crowd roll in, Lord, and that's when the magic begins. And it's a wild time, boy, they lay it on the line, taking the time to be free. Oh boy, we had some good times, and we drank that sweet wine, and we all called it predestiny. Yeah, we all called it predestiny. Lord, we all called it predestiny. Yeah, we all called it predestiny. Lord, we all called it predestiny. Predestiny. Well, I never knew a gambler who would pass an easy mark, and I never knew a talking man who would pass you in the dark. But it's true, you see what I'm seeing too, and it's new, but that's not much comfort to me and you when we've got to see it through. Can't you see I'm about to lose my mind tonight? Well, we like to be believing, so we think of him as nice. Then we say we don't believe it, and we listen to him twice. Are we really so persuaded like the man who holds the dice. But it's true, you see what I'm seeing too, and it's new. But there's not much comfort to me and you when we've got to see it through. Can't you see I'm about to lose my mind tonight? Well, then sometimes I feel sorry for a man with such a flair. He can take you to the limit, baby, just to leave you hanging there. But it's true, you see what I'm seeing too, and it's new. But that's not much comfort to me and you when we've got to see it through. Can't you see I'm about to lose my mind tonight? Can't you see I'm about to lose my mind? See I'm about to lose my mind. See I'm about to lose my mind tonight.
So now you're doing solo work, it sounds like to me, which I've heard mention of some video work you've done up in Alaska. For a solo artist, I think that's pretty good. What did the video work involve? What was that about?
There's some songs that I've written about things in Alaska, about the land up there and about the people. And this cable network in Alaska got a hold of a couple of the songs and wanted to use them to promo a show about Alaska itself. And that kind of migrated into them doing a show about my music. So they shot enough video and interview to do about a 90-minute show, and it will be aired on their cable station sometime this year. And they've cut me off some nice demos, so I'm starting to get into the video end of it now and using video for my promo as much as sound recordings.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope Alaska knows that you came from here, though.
Oh, they do. They do. That's a very clear. I think everybody in Alaska comes from somewhere,
Yeah.
and the minute you meet somebody, one of the first things you find out is where they came from. And you'd be surprised. I've run into people from Ponca City and people from Stillwater up there, and it's really a melting pot.
Yeah, that's. I imagine a lot of the coastal areas up in even Washington areas up in Seattle. It's almost an international city in some ways. Go up into Vancouver and so on. Do you spend much time out in the? Here we are sitting in the middle of Oklahoma. Do you spend much time in the the lush areas of that are in Washington, the woods that you can find there and so on?
Yeah, they're really.
How do you relax?
I get out in it. We usually go to the Sound. Seattle sits right on Puget Sound, and we usually go to the Sound. And either the Sound, you can go to the Sound one way, you turn around and go the other way, and you're heading towards Mount Rainier, which is I think it's about 11,000 feet. There's skiing up there, and we played a ski resort last winter over the Christmas holidays and played New Year's Eve. And I learned how to ski. I spent a couple of days falling down the hill, and then started having fun at it. But what do I do to relax? Gosh, I go somewhere with my wife, and we just get out and enjoy where we're at. No matter where we are, if I'm in Alaska, she'll seem to manage to get up there somehow. And when we're traveling, she tries to go with me as much as possible. So it works out real well. I like to fish. Love to fish. And there's a lot of good fishing up there, a lot of good trout fishing. So.
I remember when Chuck Dunlap used to play around Stillwater. You played a lot of live music concerts that would happen at places where people got really attached to, like Smiling Jacks and places like that were going at that time. Can we look forward to any kind of live performance again from Chuck Dunlap on the next time you come into town? Which when will you be back?
I would like to set up a show and come back and do a concert sometime in August, and just do a big show, or find a place where I can maybe do a couple shows if I need to. But I'd like to come back and play to the people that gave me my start, and really where my roots are in the business. I haven't forgot you, and if I do get this thing set up, it'll be sometime around the end of August, probably before school starts, so we can get it to the local crowd and the people that really know me and that were around when I started.
Well, that'll give us something to watch for when late August, when you're appearing in Stillwater, and hope to see you around doing that. And I know that it was good for me to talk to you again, and I know a lot of your fans out there that love that first album or are waiting for another album.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. How are you going to do this second album? Since we're on that subject, how are we going to do that second album?
I'm trying to wait until I get hooked up with a major label that can handle all the business end of it, so I can relax and put my efforts into just putting the music down, which will be a big difference from the first one, where I was more or less handling it all. I didn't really have a distribution on the first one, but it was more of a demo anyway. It was just to show what I could do on plastic, and to get something down to work with physically, rather than a cassette tape, something to stand out from the crowd a little bit. And it kind of turned into a really good album. I think it's one of those that, and nothing makes me feel better than to walk into somebody's house and see my album sitting on their turntable.
Oh yeah.
And you know that it's been there for a while, and they listen to it, and yeah, it's a real good feeling. I think the main reason I made it was so when I am an old man, I can look back and have something to show for what I did with 9 years of my life, from the time I started playing music till the time I made the album. Just to say, this is what it all led to, and this was my goal, and I reached it.
I was wondering is there any way to still buy that album at all?
Yes, there is. You can get it at Sound Warehouse on the Strip.
They still have it on stock, then. Good.
I believe they do, and if they're out, I will be sure to get in touch with them and get some more down there. If you're ever in Anchorage, you can pick it up at Down Home Guitar.
In a time of believing all my feelings were born, I saw only visions of things yet to come. The times were for taking the words from my heart, but my wishes were here and you acted the part. There's a reason for feeling the way that I do, though it's so far inside me it's hidden from you. But it shines like the sun, like a bird on the wing, and when it sets on us, oh, what a feeling it brings. It brings. Well, you can take my words for truth. Well, I'm not talking from my youth. I may feel bounded like a wave upon the shore. I may see visions that I've never seen before, but I take them with me, for they show me where to go. And I listen closely, for they tell me what I know. The time is with us, for the past is at an end. So wander on, oh life of mine, and let the day begin. Ooh. wander on a life of mine. Oh, wander on a life of mine. Wander on a life of mine. Wander on and let the day begin. Wander on.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Chuck, for appearing on the Music of Stillwater Show tonight. And I know all of us are going to be looking forward to more music in the future and hearing from Chuck Dunlap again.
Well, there's a place in Oklahoma for a young man to go, where you can sit up in the treetops and enlighten your soul. Well, there's water on the east side and a deaf man on the west. There's a place across the highway that says their chicks are the best. Well, head out east on the highway, well, it don't be too long now. When you see that crooked mailbox and the dogs start to howl, there's 10 acres of homeland when you drive through the gates. And it's a refuge from the outside and it's called the Estates. Well, it's a place right out of Georgia with big pillars on the porch. And there's a river in our driveway every time it rains, of course. And there's 2 big dogs from Ireland and one from who knows where. And they all come out to meet us when we come down the stairs. We'll head out east on the highway, well, it don't be too long now. When you see that crooked mailbox and the dogs start to howl, there's 10 acres of homeland when you drive through the gates. And it's a refuge from the outside and it's called the Estates. Well, there's a balcony for you and me and a basement for the cats. 2 horses in our pasture and a barn that's full of rats. Well, the music echoes up the stairs and out upon the street. For we all know that playing music is a life that's hard to beat. We'll head out east on the highway, but it won't be too long now. When you see that crooked mailbox and the dogs start to howl, there's 10 acres of homeland when you drive through the gates. And it's a refuge from the outside and it's called the Estates. We'll head out east on the highway, well, it won't be too long now. When you see that crooked mailbox and the dogs start to howl, there's 10 acres of homeland when you drive through the gates. And it's a refuge from the outside and it's called the Estates.
Strolling along, following all that I see. When out of nowhere a dream seems to carry me off like a cloud in a breeze. It's always the same, like some crazy game. There's a room where the light doesn't shine, so I strike up the match, try to feel fine. it won't stay. As a flame dies away, will I realize I'm not here to stay. There are many times and places, open arms and empty faces, but ooh, can't you see that it was just a fantasy and a reason for the way I feel? And as it turned to day, the darkness fell away, and the light was shining down on me. And I can see, and I can see, for over 20 miles or more I can see. And it's good to see the light, even if it's not so bright, for it's all I have to see, and it keeps me company in my dreams. So I think you can see there's good company in a light that shines when it shines in your mind. And all I can say is please don't go away. Close your eyes and find that it shines in your mind. Well, it shines in your mind. Let it shine. Well, it shines in your mind. Well, it shines. Let it shine. Shine, shine.
Well, thank you, and thank everybody out there that likes my music and gave me all the encouragement it took to ironically take me out of here and move me on to wherever it is that I'm going. You are not forgotten. I think about you every time I play a song that I wrote here, and I'd like to say thanks again to everybody.
Say so late at night, things we do to make it right. These are the needs of me and you, oh, you know they can say it too. Being gone while you are lonely, babe. Coming back when I feel homely. Though it strains both me and you, oh, you know it's gonna be there too. Knowing me, knowing you, knowing us the way I do. Yes, it seems we both come through when everything is over. We turn left, we turn right, seeing if it's still in sight. But we can feel it in the night for you and I are lovers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Working days to make some money. Sometimes I fight the things I do, but you know it's gonna be there too. Yeah, yeah. Making changes, doing nothing. When the race is off and running, oh, I'm betting all on me and you, and you know it's gonna be there too. The way I do. Yes, it seems we both come through when everything is over. We turn left, we turn right, seeing if it's still in sight. But we can feel it in the night for you and I are lovers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who's to say who's being wishful? What's the point I'm leading to if this should all be true? Love has always been a dreamer. Lovers have the grass that's greener. Take from both their point of view, and you know it's gonna be there too. Knowing me, knowing you, knowing us the way I do. Yes, it seems we both come through when everything is over. We turn left, we turn right, seeing if it's still the same. But we can feel it in